Hi, I'm Max Hertz. This is Better Structures at Spy Gallery in Los Angeles.
Tell us about these works a little bit.
They're really inspired by like play structures, children's toys, educational objects. We first learn about space and objects through playing, so I kind of want to both bring that back into my work and into my practice. So really like learning about space and engaging with three-dimensional objects, and yeah.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of like Legos or Kinect.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, I grew up playing with Legos nonstop, and yeah, just that like unlimited ability to learn from something and build upon it. Yeah.
Tell me how the pieces come together.
I have a pretty tight sketching process of just making forms and like developing a form language, and I'll fully plan them out and 3D model them, and then I'll blow apart the 3D models and create templates, which I use to lay out on plywood, and then I cut them out using a jigsaw, and then the round, I use a router, and then yeah, then these pieces are painted, and then the ends are cut off and sanded.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of the process of putting them together?
Yeah, really the assembly. So that's, yeah, when I feel most like I'm like re-engaging with that like inner child and having that moment of play. And the play comes through in like a lot of the process and the design and everything, but when I really get to like assembling it and kind of like refiguring out how it goes together and how I plan it, it's really fun. And then I know how it's gonna look from the 3D model, but I don't really know like what it's gonna feel like in 3 dimensions until I assemble it. So that's really like the part that I like the most. The narrative for me is really in the assembly and that process of play.
Yeah, I definitely feel the story. It feels like, yeah, like you're saying, the story is sort of the creation, how it comes together, and what it feels like to then experience the finished product. But they're amazing, they're amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
This one I created like radially instead of in a grid. So I like started with a point in the center and then projected the lines radially out and then like canted them at these angles so that like when you're looking through, you'll see that they like make a cross almost. I was really thinking about this space and making kind of like a centerpiece that wouldn't like obstruct the wall pieces and the other standing structures. So I wanted to make a low, large, and like an open piece, and it's called Big Basket.
What is it like making work in Los Angeles?
It's good. I grew up here and I went to school and knew I wanted to come back. And LA's architecture has always been like a really big inspirational thing for me, and just drive around the city and just, I'm always looking at like signs and architectural moments and using those when I draw a lot. So when I sketch, like I'm often sketching forms and just like really iterative process of sketching, but sometimes like the main thing I fall back on that's like representational is usually architecture. I mean, as you can see, like this balance of functional design, so where the way something fits and works and is put together is kind of like not necessarily the forefront, but it's a large part in the making of the aesthetics. Really just like more common everyday architectural moments like venting or like things that are developed out of necessity or out of function.
Makes sense. It's sort of like a feeling more, and like when a design moment happens, it doesn't need to be a building. It can sort of be like a conception someone had about something that they then put into the world, and you can sort of see the whole thought process. Yeah, that becomes the connection.
It's so cool seeing it's kind of modular in nature, but it's super organic in form. That's really hard to
Yeah.
do. It looks really
Totally.
big.
Thank you.
If you could be any color, what color would you be?
Orange. Yeah, I don't know what being a color means, but it feels right as a choice.
You feel orange, perfect.
Yeah, I feel orange.